For all the talk about who's gonna get traded before the NBA's February deadline, not enough has been said about a guy who probably won't be on the move this winter, Zach LaVine. A two-time All-Star whose contract has been deemed too toxic to add or too difficult to move, LaVine's enjoying arguably the best season of his career. After a 5-year run that saw LaVine average 25 points per game and 65 games per season, foot issues severely limited the Bulls' guard last year. LaVine was a shell of himself in his 25 games played last season, before eventually deciding to undergo season-ending surgery. There was some speculation that LaVine made that decision to avoid being traded to the then league worst Pistons, but Adrian Wojnarowski reported at the time there was no market for LaVine ahead of the 2024 deadline. That made sense, given his max contract, health concerns, and seemingly declining play. But the 29-year-old is all the way back and then some in 2025. LaVine's averaging 24 points and 4+ assists in unfathomably efficient fashion. He's shooting 57% inside the arc and 45% from deep on more than 7 3-point attempts per game. His 45.6% mark on pull-up threes is tied for the league lead. The only guard in history to average 24+ points on better shooting was Steph Curry in 2015-16, when he was unanimously named MVP.
He is on fire.
Sure, LaVine has his defensive issues, but he's one of the best scorers and self-creators in the game. A legit 3-level terror who can also tilt defenses off the ball. He's still a couple months away from his 30th birthday. Overcame knee issues to play at least 3/4 of games 6 times in the last 7 seasons, and is under team control for at least another year and a half. In a pre-Apron world, teams would be willing to take a swing, even if LaVine was viewed as overpaid. But his trade value and tradability are victims of the new CBA. Teams now have to be extremely careful about giving max money to second-tier stars who were no-brainer max guys in a pre-Apron world. LaVine's 15% trade kicker plus his 2026-27 player option mean his cap hit could still be worth more than 33% of the cap 2 years from now. In addition to the long-term roster constraints triggered by the Aprons, there are also immediate trade-related restrictions that make a LaVine deal tough to construct. Second Apron teams can't aggregate players to complete a trade, and the Bulls don't want Bradley Beal, while first Apron clubs can't take back more money than they send out. So teams like Denver and the Lakers, for example, would need to send more than $43 million in salary out the door as part of any LaVine deal. 9 teams are currently operating above at least one of the Aprons, but that first Apron trade also applies to teams that would become first Apron squads upon acquiring LaVine. It's just really hard to find an interested team that wouldn't have to gut its roster to acquire him.
Why does everything have to be so complicated?
2 financially flexible teams I keep coming back to are the Rockets and Spurs. Houston's playing at a 55-win pace, and while the asset-rich Rockets are undoubtedly hoping for a bigger star to join the cause, LaVine's offensive talents would provide a serious boost to a club already boasting a contending-level defense. Jalen Green's never going to be the same caliber of efficient scorer. Whether it's mid-season or in the summer once Green's extension is kicked in and trading him is less complicated, the Rockets should seriously consider turning Green into LaVine. If they want to keep Green but are resigned to losing Fred VanVleet this summer, then perhaps the Rockets can entice Chicago with the Illinois native's large expiring contract. As for the Spurs, the presence of Victor Wembanyama means they're going to sniff contention ahead of schedule. Pairing Wemby with an elite scorer who possesses the shooting skills and off-the-dribble creation of LaVine would unleash a terrifying combo. In the meantime, LaVine's likely staying put, left to toil away on another mediocre Bulls squad. A new CBA meant to protect owners from themselves means LaVine will be a forgotten man this trade season. But don't let that distract you from the incredible season he's putting together. I know we're consumed with contracts, player movement, and how everything relates to the title race, but there's still space to celebrate this comeback story.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button.